Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Kathleen Walls of Dr. Walls and Friends on the Sisters in Harmony Network, and I'm here at City College in Harlem, New York with Emily. How are you doing today, Emily?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So now I just had the opportunity to watch this film, and It's My Life, I think it's called?
Not My Life.
Not My Life, yes. Thank goodness, Not My Life.
Yes.
And it is a movie on human trafficking. And so I want to tell the audience about who you are, what you do, and how you got involved in this project.
Sure. So my name's Emily Pasnak-Lapchick. I work for the U.S. Fund for UNICEF, which does the education, advocacy, and fundraising in the U.S. to support UNICEF's work abroad. And we recently launched an initiative called the End Trafficking Project. And this is an initiative to raise awareness about human trafficking and to mobilize communities to take action against it.
Okay. And now how did you get involved with this type of work?
So it's funny because it's kind of been following me my whole life.
Okay.
Throughout high school, I spoke to other students about child soldiers in particular, and when I got to college, I was still interested in learning more.
Okay.
There was a course on human trafficking that was being offered,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, really, it was really great. And I took it because I wanted to learn more about child soldiers. And I didn't end up learning anything about child soldiers, but learned about all the other kinds of human trafficking.
Okay.
And when I found out that this kind of exploitation was happening to people just like me and you, I just felt compelled to do something about it.
And it's amazing because in the film, it took us all over the world, which I think was wonderful.
Yes.
Because so many times we just think of it as something that's happening abroad,
Yeah.
in many of the Asian countries or in the African countries. However, they showed footage of stuff happening right here in Times Square.
Exactly. Yeah, that's I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is people do think of it as something that's happening abroad when in reality it's happening right here in our own backyard. It's happening right in front of our own eyes and we don't even realize it. Whether that's young girls being prostituted out, being forced to have sex with people on the streets, or people working in nail salons or in hotels or restaurants. It's everywhere. It's all around us, and I think people just need to become more aware of it to be able to take action against it.
And I think the other thing is that what caught my attention was the continuum of the slavery model. So slavery from the United States, 500 years, so forth. But then also the continuum in severity, so to speak. So for instance, there was the one person in the story that was an alleged nanny who worked 24 hours, 7 days a week, never got paid.
Yes.
And so it was under false pretenses that she was brought here to this country and then did not get what the contract said. So there's different gradations of this trafficking that is occurring.
Absolutely, and many different forms as well. And I think in that particular case, one of the things that was great is that she was able to be rescued because a nosy neighbor called the human trafficking hotline, which is 888-3737-888, and they called and reported it, and then the FBI got involved, and that's how that woman was rescued, was because neighbors, people like you and me, got involved, and they decided to take action. They knew something was wrong, and they felt that they had to do something about it. So they called that hotline, which I would encourage anyone who's watching to post this hotline. Save it in your cell phone so that anytime you see something that might be a little bit suspicious, you can report it.
And I like the fact that people were able to be rescued, and there were several people who were mentioned, a child in Africa, someone was in Oklahoma, I think, and then there was one or two more. So now if people want to get involved, so as you talked about, the nosy neighbor was able to get involved by calling that hotline number, but how else can people get involved?
Great. So the End Trafficking Project, we're screening films like this around the country, and if anyone wants to screen the film, they can get in touch with us to host a screening, whether that's at their school or their community center, maybe at their church, whatever you fancy.
Okay.
But you can visit our website, which is unicefusa.org/endtrafficking, or you can email us at endtrafficking@unicefusa.org, and just tell me that you're interested in getting involved, and we'll direct you to lots of resources. We have toolkits with over 20 ways to take action. We also have educator resources so that teachers can bring this issue into the classroom.
Wonderful.
We're going to be creating a PSA campaign and maybe even some other forms of awareness. So if you just get in touch with us, we have plenty of ways in which you can get involved, and I would encourage you to do so.
And what's that hotline again?
888-3737-888.
Now, usually during this time of the year at schools, they'll give out the little UNICEF boxes.
Yeah, trick or treat.
Yes. Is if there are financial pieces where people want to make donations around this holiday time that they can specifically attribute it to the Human Trafficking Fund?
Absolutely. So we have, if you specify that that's what you want to donate towards, so human trafficking within the UNICEF realm falls under child protection.
Okay.
So we can direct funds directly to child protection, and it has actually, a lot of UNICEF's work involves survival, but the development piece really needs funds, so it would be great if they could do that as well.
Great. Well, Emily, thank you so much for what you do, and please continue.
Thank you very much.
Take care. We'll be back very shortly on Dr. Walls and Friends.